Hey there, welcome to the Families Find Freedom channel, where I talk about families finding freedom, right? And in any sense of the word, and specifically more inner freedom, because everything that we're looking to choose, to experience externally, right? Making more money, having better relationships, having better health, all of that really starts with our internal state first. Okay, and today's video, I wanted to just go over how I do inner work. And, a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people, they do inner work, and I'm always kind of curious on, how do you do inner work? What questions do you ask yourself? What's kind of the process? How do you know when you're done? And what's the difference between, you know, different methods and different modalities, I guess. So I figured I would share kind of my experience and what I do and kind of break it down. And for those of you that don't know, I've been kind of doing inner work. Some people call it shadow work, inner child healing, whatever, belief work, meditations, journaling, all of that stuff. Probably for the last 15 years. Since 2009, 2010. And I've been consistently doing it probably the last 7 or 8 years. And I've coached a bunch of people, helped a bunch of people, and felt like I would just share my own journey and my own process. Okay, with that, I want to share a quick meditation that I did yesterday, and it was a pretty big revelation for myself. Really got to a point where I truly believed in myself and I didn't realize I was holding myself back. And so I'm going to just go ahead and share my screen here. And hopefully you guys can see the screen. Um, but basically, I journaled everything out. And so yesterday and I do different types of meditations and different journaling and different activities. And for you guys, do what works for you. Right? There's no one size fits all. Some people like to just go to a coffee shop, read a book. Some people want to go to the beach and hang out by the water. Like whatever is good for you, where you can really connect with yourself. Because I think that's what all inner work is really connecting to your most authentic, true self, listening to your innermost desires and what you want and what feels right for you. Okay. So that being said, yesterday I did a silent meditation, which is just basically I literally sit in silence, right? Like I sit, close my eyes, and I allow myself to listen to my thoughts, notice any feelings in my body, whatever. Okay. And it was about 25 minutes, but it was super powerful. And yeah, so I just started to meditate and uh, just for context here, you can see right here that I'm going through a transition myself. I've made the decision to leave my high ticket sales position at a really awesome company, great team, great company, but I just have to move forward. I just felt this calling. It was time to leave, and I had to follow it. And so I'm on this kind of new journey, and it's not even, moving from one high ticket offer to another offer or getting another sales job. It's almost like I feel like it's time for me to retire completely from not only high ticket sales, but maybe even just sales altogether, which is kind of scary because I've been doing sales for over 25 years now. So there's a lot of uncertainty on what's going on. And so yesterday I was doing this meditation, I was tuning in, and I noticed there was just a lot of this uncertainty, a lot of fear. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And funny enough, I had just spoken to my mom a few hours before I did this meditation, and she was kind of like, "Hey, what are you going to do? This and that." She's like, "Okay." I said, I honestly don't know. I just felt the calling to leave, and right now, my plan is simply to go inward, right? I'm going to meditate. I'm going to listen to my soul. I'm going to trust my soul to see where this is going to take me. And so, as you can see here, a lot of the uncertain, as I tuned in, I noticed a lot of the uncertainty was coming from like my mom's energy, and I had to just kind of listen to it, process through it, let it go out. So something that I do is whenever I have a negative or uncomfortable feeling, I go into it, I lean into it, and I let it say whatever it needs to say. So it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Fuck, I'm fucked, and this and that, and I'm screwed, and I don't know what's gonna go. And I just kind of allow myself to fully go into that. And what happens is it tends to dissolve and dissipate and diminish and kind of goes away. So that's what I did. And then I continued just to like feel through. And as that part lifted, I felt like a blocked feeling here in my chest area. And it was just like a really like stuck energy, right? And I just heard like, oh, you'll never make it work, will you? Right? And this really like condescending and funny enough, in the uncertainty, it was a very certain tone that I won't make it. And so I tried to dig deeper and I was like, okay, well, what's going on here? And I heard like, wow, like what's the worst thing that can happen if I actually do figure this thing out? Like if I do make it. And then I heard that part of me go, oh, well, I'll die. And so now I'm like, okay, who's talking, right? Like what part of me is saying this? And I figured, oh, maybe it's not my energy. Maybe it's my mom's energy. Nope, it wasn't my mom's. Is it my dad's? Nope, it wasn't my dad's. Is it mine? Yes. Like I felt that deeply, like, oh, that's my energy. So I'm like, okay, cool. So what part of me is saying this that I won't make it? And is it the lazy part of me? No. Is it the part that's complacent? No. Okay. So who? Right. And I didn't hear much, but I could feel the tightness kind of getting a little tighter, tenser. As I tuned in a little bit deeper, I just felt like, you know what? You don't even want to figure this out, do you? And he's like, no, because he's gonna die, right? So anything that's gonna threaten him is obviously not, he's not gonna let go. And that's something we all have, right? We hold these beliefs for a reason. They're there to protect us, or we hold these like identities or this energy or this frequency, and it shows up as doubt or self-sabotage or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, you don't want me to figure it out. Okay, well, thank you. I first of all thanked him for telling me the truth. And then I said, okay, well, then let's just be stagnant. Let's just be stuck then. He was like, really? Oh, okay, cool. Right. So I allowed myself to truly feel like the most stagnant, the most stuck I've ever felt in my entire life. Right. Just going into that fear of that uncertainty that I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just be a vegetable and do nothing. Right. And, um, and as I kind of went deeper into the feeling here, you can see here that I realized that, holy crap, like the last couple of weeks, I've actually been super stuck. Um, and yes, I was working at the time, but during my free time or spare time, I was just kind of scrolling Facebook, watching YouTube videos, playing a little mobile game I have, literally just doing nothing and staying stagnant, staying stuck, like not working out, not doing the things, I know I want to do or I know it's good for me. And then let me see here. And here's the cool part. When you allow yourself, and this is what happened, I allowed myself to feel all of this. It started to get lighter. It started to dissolve. It started to disappear because that part of me, that pattern, that identity, right? That stuck part of me was seen and heard. And it started to dissolve and diminish and disappear. And I felt lighter. And then I tuned back in to be like, okay, let me find it. Let me see where it's at. And I was trying to listen to that voice of, you'll never make it work, will you? Right. And funny enough, it was gone. Right. I couldn't find it. And actually, when I went into that space where I heard it earlier in my heart, I then heard, you know what, you can. And it was like a soft voice. It was like, you can, and you will find a way to make it work. Like, you're gonna figure this out. I believe in you. And that was when it was like, whoa, it was huge because it was really, I felt like the first time that I've ever really fully believed in myself, right? And I think I've spent my whole life seeking, searching for that belief in me externally, right? From my parents, my friends, my family, my clients, etc. And, my parents, they did always believe in my abilities, right? Like my competence, my intelligence, what I'm capable of, my potential. But like, and even myself, like I believe that I can do things if I find what I want to do and this and that, but they never believe in me, like the way I think, my decision-making process, the way I want to live my life. Um, we just grew up, we're different people and different ideas about life. And to be fair, I don't blame them, right? Because of my track record. I've got right? So I'm an ex-drug dealer, ex-gang member, ex-convict, didn't make the best choices, right? You can see it that way. I think I made the exact choices I needed to make at that time. But I've also spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on programs and coaching programs and money ideas and money making programs and schemes and all these things and had very little ROI, if any. Most of it were losses, right? But the experience in itself was awesome. And not to mention, I've kind of hopped from one job to another, like constantly. Like my whole career has always been one job to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. And in the last 7 or 8 years, I've lived in 4 different states in a different country, and I feel like now I'm finally settling down. But yeah, through the past, I've never had stability and security. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this. But yeah, I've never had stability and security. And that's something that my parents value, but I always value following my heart, my passion and freedom. Like I know I'm very blessed that I have support. My parents have supported me financially, emotionally, even though they didn't understand what I was doing and why I'm doing it, but they were always there for me. So I appreciate that. But going through this, like once I heard like I believe in you, like from my own heart to myself, and the letting go of that stagnant, stuck part of me that was holding me down, I really like allowed it to go in and really received it. I feel like I truly believe in myself 100%. And I don't feel like I've ever felt that way before. And so this was huge for me yesterday as I realized and I had that kind of revelation. And um, yeah, like that was one meditation within, 25 minutes. And probably the whole thing was probably about an hour after I processed everything and journaled it all out, typed it all out. And that's kind of just my process. So there's a bunch of tools I used in that little process. Um, but I hope this helps. I don't know if it gives you any insight or anything like that, but for me, it's, I guess, kind of a quick recap. It's, going from uncertainty, which wasn't even mine, processing through that, and then hearing that voice, that stagnant, stuck voice that said, you will never make it. And then going deeper into that to feeling that stuckness and that and just allowing myself to go there. And once that released, underneath it was, oh, I believe in you. But I had all these blocks. So if I don't believe in myself, it doesn't matter. All these different things that I've done in the past, if I never truly believed in myself and my capabilities to be able to do it, and I've always believed in my potential, but I don't think I truly believed in myself, then of course I wouldn't get the results I wanted. And now I feel, oh man, like having that full self-belief, it doesn't matter what I do because I'll find a way to make it work. And so it starts there, right? Believe in yourself, right? If you just ask yourself, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like 100% super fully belief in yourself, where would you be, right? And why? And you can look at that. You can look at your beliefs about how much you believe in yourself. Anyways, I hope this helps. If you liked it, like, subscribe. And if you want me to cover any specific topics, just let me know. Any questions you have. Hope that helps. All right, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.